Alright, today we're going to be discussing the differences between the MK153 and the Carl Gustaf launchers. First apparent difference that I see is the run speed. Significant difference on the run speed. You can run much faster with the MK153. However, there is a little bit of jank with Arma in which if you just aim down sights and walk forward, you actually get more speed out of that than your run speed with the Gustaf. I'm not sure why that is, but that seems to be the way it is. Next, we're going to be talking about drop-off. So I'm going to aim at the same point with both launchers. I'm going to aim at that little nubbin right there. And for the 153. Very similar within 100 meters. I believe after that the Gustaf has more drop-off. But look at this reload animation. To me, this is the most significant difference. Now for the Gustaf's reload animation. Done. Much faster. Rocket weight 5.9, 3.1. The Gustaf seems to have much lighter ammo than the small. Now let's talk about its effect on vehicles. So with the Gustaf, what do I have loaded up here? 8751, perfect. This is what you want against heavy armor. So we'll try it against this JLTV. Of course, these have the weakest side on the front. You want to hit the engine, but let's assume that that's not an option today. Let's hit it from the side. I want to smack the driver. We got a small engine fire going. So now we're going to try again with the SMAW. Now I want to make sure I have the right projectile here. I want to be using the HEAA rounds against armor. What this round is going to do is it's going to penetrate the first layer of armor and then basically have a massive mine blast on the inside of the compartment there. So hitting the engine again is ideal, but assuming we can't get that shot today, we're going to hit it from the side. And just like the Gustaf, I'm going to aim at the driver's compartment. Very, very similar. And it appears that the SMAW has a much faster projectile. So we've talked about mobility, we've talked about reload speed. Let's talk about how many rockets you can have per each one. Now, of course, I'm using the GRS modular backpack. In my opinion, that's the backpack that holds the most large things. I use it for landmines primarily, but today we're going to be using it for rockets. So we're going to drop the Carl G rounds, and we're going to pick up more of these HEAA rounds. Let's assume that we're just on anti-armor duty. Now this next trick is actually something that Clam Waffles, or Childish Clambino, he showed me this. If you go into your GRS waist, pick a belt, and if you take that belt, hit our edit key, and you add a fanny pack, it will hold one more SMAW rocket. Let's see if that works. It does. So we have 6 here plus 1 in the fanny pack, hilariously enough. So we have a total of 8. We have our 1 in the barrel plus 7. You might notice the red dot I have on here. The reason I have this on here is because, 1, I don't like the scope that comes with these. It zooms in too far and I don't like all the busyness on it. And 2, I took off the iron sights because sometimes you're going to pull it out and they're going to be flipped down. And that causes a lot of problems, especially if you're trying to whip it out on the fly when there's a JLTV coming at you. So when I have this dot on here with no irons, I know for a fact it's always going to be ready to aim once I have it pulled out. So in discussing range, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start at this corner and I'm going to try to hit, or do my best to hit that pocket right there, assuming there's a sniper on that tower. 150 meters. There should be a little bit of drop. So let's aim here. That was a pretty good shot. Let me try again though, just make sure I can get that more centered. And again, you're going to notice this really long reload time. It's the one thing that I really don't like about the SMAW. But this sight is a nice plus. You can't have that on the Gustaf. That would have been a perfect hit. Yeah, the SMAW has this feature in which the rocket hops up before descending. So if something is exactly 100 meters away, you want to aim dead on at it. If it's closer, you want to aim a little bit below it. And then from there, you would aim up to compensate for drop. Now let's see how many rounds we can carry with the Gustav. Now we have our same fanny pack on from earlier. Let's see if that holds an extra round for us. To be frank, these rounds are really useful. Anti-personnel. This is great for little birds and lighter vehicles like Humvees and Jeeps. But this is our heavy armor missile, and honestly, I still just use it against little birds and light armor anyway. It's just kind of more of an all-around thing, and if you're a really good shot, it can also be your anti-personnel round as well. So it looks like a maximum of 1 in the barrel plus 4. Very different from the 8 that you would get with the small. It looks like you're stuck with 5 on the Gustav. But again, you can get those 5 out a lot faster due to the reload speed on this thing. The way I had it explained to me was they basically just took, this is a modded weapon, right? They just took the same animation from the RPG, where you just stick it into the end of the barrel, and they just applied it to this thing, for better or worse. But we're going to do the same. We're going to try to hit that spot. Now, I know there's going to be a little bit more drop-off on the Gustav. It doesn't have the hop-up function of the SMA, so I might have to aim a little bit higher on this one. Oh, too high on that. Let's try that again. Quick reload, going back in. And that right there is mostly why I tend to prefer the Gustav. I was able to, okay, I missed, and then get a quick reload in and get that second shot on target a lot faster than you would with a SMA. Yeah, now I'm dead on the money. This should also be a pretty good lethal range. Because we have our anti-tank rounds, this should one-shot a JLTV if I hit it in the engine compartment. Yeah, everybody in there is dead. Let's do one more for kicks. So I guess preference really depends on what you're going for. If you want something to kind of hang out as a last resort or a quick option against a vehicle that's unexpected, I would lean towards the Gustav. If you're somebody who's definitely going to be anti-tank, that's your role, and you're going to be doing a lot of hit and run tactics and movement, I would say go with the SMA just because you can hold more rockets. They're going to fly a lot faster, you can move faster with them, but you have to go back into hiding pretty quick because that reload time will get you killed. It's gotten me killed many times.